Today I figure I'd give you guys a look at Spider-Man on the PlayStation 1. This is a game that I've always loved and was released in 2000, a whole 22 years ago now. Hard to believe 2000 was over 20 years ago. And this is a game that I've always enjoyed. It was a big part of my childhood. The game has a lot of action going on in it. It has a lot of good visuals, some really great comic book inspired characters and cutscenes. It's just a fun game all around. It was also released on the Nintendo 64, as you can see here, and it was also released on the Dreamcast. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of the game, and I literally own all the versions of it. The only one I don't have is the PC version, but I might even get that someday. So I figure I would show you guys a little bit about the game, and show you why it's, to this day, my favorite Spider-Man game. First and foremost, the game has some really awesome extras, such as the costumes. Tons of different costumes throughout Spider-Man's run, including the black suit symbiote Spider-Man, as well as everyone's favorite, the amazing Bagman. That's right, no powers, who needs them? You have a bag on your head. A very fun, and even Ben Reilly, the clone Spider-Man. A very fun and enjoyable Spider-Man game. It had everything you really wanted at the time in a superhero game. Good graphics for the time it came out. Really awesome gameplay. And just a lot of fun stuff going for it. I do think that there are probably better Spider-Man games on a technical level out there, like the new PS3 game, or PS4 game rather, is really good. But there's something about this game just has a certain charm to it. And I don't think I'll ever play another Spider-Man game that really captures the character like this one does. That was a nice little opening by Stan Lee there. The plot of the game essentially sees Spider-Man trying to save the city after it has been poisoned in a cloud of fog by Doc Ock as well as Carnage. Throughout the game, you'll team up with other Marvel heroes such as Black Cat, which you just saw, Daredevil, Captain America, the Fantastic Four even mentioned. You run into Johnny Storm at one point. The game is truly a awesome Marvel game, and it really embraces the universe. Spider-Man can essentially run around, as you can see. He can jump, he can do a flip, he can punch, he can kick, he can web up enemies, like so. He can shoot web balls, he can make a web dome and explode it, knocking enemies out everywhere, and make web gloves, making his punches more powerful. They really cover a lot of the bases. And the game, even while it's technically not free roam, you do get large areas to go in. And the backgrounds are nice and detailed. The game is really ahead of its time. Like I said, on a pure technical level, there are probably better Spider-Man games. But there's none that I really enjoy as much as this one. It really brings me into the world of Spider-Man. And it makes me, feel like I'm playing through a day in the life of the wall crawler. That's right. The game also lets you pick up web cartridges to refill. You can only get up to 8, or maybe it's 9. It's been a while since I played this. And the swinging in the game lets you go from building to building. You can only shoot 2 strands at once, unlike the newer games, so it actually kind of makes swinging kind of a challenge. But there are ways around that they incorporated into the game. For instance, as you can see, he only shoots 2 web strands. But if you break it, we'll try it again. If I can get it. Oh, here we go. Okay. So you can shoot 2 web strands, but if you break it, you can actually shoot a third and then a fourth. It's all about, judging the distance from jump to jump and then swinging accordingly. The game may be a little bit dated by today's standards, but it really was revolutionary for the time. The graphics are still, pretty to look at. A bit dated, of course, but, they're nice and colorful. Everything looks like it's supposed to. You know what is going on. And the game has a lot of cool features in it, cool unlockables. There's comic book covers, which I'll show you now. When you go through the game, you can unlock things such as comic book covers, as you can see here. Let's see where they at. Oh, in the gallery. My bad. And you find all these throughout the game, telling you about Spider-Man's greatest adventures up to that point. Some of the most well-known ones: his original appearance, Daredevil's first appearance, Green Goblin's first appearance, all the sort of things like that. It's just a really fun, enjoyable game that embraces the wall crawler and really shows that at the time, even back then, they could make an awesome superhero game, because there were a lot of lackluster ones when this game was first released. It's enjoyable. It's far from perfect on a technical level, but it's really fun. It's one that I've always enjoyed, and probably one that I'll always enjoy. And I think that this game is begging for a modern day remake on modern hardware and modern consoles. I think that would be really cool. But, one of those things that you hope will happen, but you don't really know if it ever will. Regardless, that's Spider-Man on the PlayStation 1. An enjoyable and fun game. And one that I can say, while it's a bit dated in certain aspects, to me it will always be the Spider-Man game. It was even followed by a sequel in 2001. Spider-Man 2, Enter Elektro. This game is fun as well. It has a lot of good action in it, a lot of cool characters and things like that. And it's also one that I really enjoy. If you want a good Spider-Man game and you like more retro consoles like the first PlayStation, I'd say give it a shot. You may not love it, but there's a good chance that you will. So thanks for watching. That's my video, and peace out.